Welcome to the Voice of C38 Untapped, Episode 2, technically. Today we are at the Blue Spruce Brewing Company. Say that fast 3 times, sober. The crew today, Ryan Madden, Director of Communications for the Rapids, and, because it is his local watering hole, the Drunken Monk. Say hi, guys.
Met.
You know.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ryan comes to us from California. He'll give us a little bit of a background on where you came from. Let us know what you do.
Yeah, my name's Ryan Madden. I'm the Director of Communications for the Rapids. I started about 5 months ago, so I'm still fairly new to the club. My wife and I moved to Commerce City from Colorado Springs, where I was working with part of the U.S. Olympic Committee set up down there.
Yeah, if you want to sample this out, we need to try a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the Golden Strong.
Sounds kind of like a cider.
Golden Strong?
Golden Strong, yeah.
Golden Strong.
These are all Blue Spruce.
Right out of Spruce.
All Blue Spruce.
Are they brewing it here?
Yeah. All out of here. They're growing and they're creating a huge space off of 470, I believe, Kipling, to increase their volume because they can't keep up.
What was this?
So, that was the Golden Strong.
Golden Strong.
That would be what I'm drinking.
That's a fruity beer. What's that fruit? There's a fruit in there. I can't taste it. Or I can't. I can taste it, but I can't name it.
Yeah. I can't identify.
I can't identify. There we go.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is the first time I came here, I had that Golden Strong, and it was 11.2%.
Apricot?
Yeah, and they had to cut back
Trying to get me
because
drunk.
it was super strong. But
Let's
it
see
was
what
really
happens
good.
in 20 minutes.
I think this one's probably more around 10.
You know, for those that aren't really paying attention to the timeline, you kind of came in when shit was hitting the fan. And I'd like to think that you handled the situation fairly well, and a lot of the way we're getting the communication now has really come from you. And one of the questions I have is, were you given a direction when you took the job, or is this kind of part of your ambition and what you want to do moving forward with the dream job?
No, it's a tremendous question. I think, I made it fairly clear in the interview process what I wanted to accomplish in a role like this. And that is simply to be the most transparent, media and community friendly club in all of Major League Soccer. I without boring you to death, I did a graduate program at Ohio University, and we studied how organizations communicate with their fan base in the public. And I think for a lot of organizations, there's especially professional sports organizations, there's a reluctance to want to go out and communicate a transparent vision. Because in some ways, then you have to be held accountable, right, to that vision that you're articulating. And some people find a little bit of discomfort in that. But I was fortunate enough that coming in with both Wayne and Porig, you had 2 people who were the leadership of the club who embraced that and said, let's do it. Let's go be the most transparent club in Major League Soccer. Let's tell people exactly what we want to accomplish, exactly where we want to go, and exactly how we want to get there. And then let's be held accountable to that vision.
And
what do we got? Here?
We have the pumpkin.
Okay.
Festive.
This is their one of their seasonals.
My wife would be thrilled. She loves pumpkin beer like more than anything.
So this is like her favorite time of year as far as beer concerned?
Yeah, well, like beer,
Oktoberfest.
coffee. I mean, like our house is pretty much only has pumpkin-based food and beverage at this point. It's I think basic is what the kids are calling it. It's incredibly basic. No?
That's I like that one better than the first one.
I think that's really good.
Numbering that down.
It's a subtle pumpkin, right?
Yes.
It's not like a overwhelming.
I could almost taste a little cinnamon more than pumpkin.
You know what the trick is? To put a little bit of a little brown sugar around the rim. It's a little over the top, but it's a nice addition. Pro tip.
Yeah.
Take that.
Look at that.
Well, something for the
Tuned
viewers
in to
there.
watch soccer stuff, and you got a beer tip on some pumpkin. That's what happens. And then, so back to the media part, getting the Rapids known in this town is kind of something that's always been a struggle, or at least as something that we as fans and supporters have always felt. How do you view the club's approach past to what you plan to do now, and kind of give the rest of the viewers a little bit of a dose of what we can be looking forward to?
Yeah, I think in Major League Soccer, if you look at most teams, there's a real impetus on wanting to be your own best storyteller, right? So people want to, we build a digital departments and we bring people in who are phenomenal storytellers, because in theory at least, no one's ever going to tell your story quite as well as you can. Now, somewhere along the way, you can't lose sight of engaging with people outside of the organization. Right? So I think you can have a robust, like incredibly comprehensive storytelling department within your organization, but then still value the role of traditional media, of supporter groups, of the community. And I think that is equally, if not more important than your own storytelling.
One of the other things that we kind of wanted to look at was there was some numbers thrown at the roster changes.
Yeah.
One of the things that I want to address before we get to the number he brought out, because you could ask a question of is that in or is that out, but the Rapids had an entire season this year without a full roster.
Yep.
So is part of these numbers including a full roster?
You have a first-team roster that is between 18 and 20 players. And for that 18 to 20 players, you have a finite amount of money that you can spend. So if you go for the full 20, that's less money that you can spend on the individual players. Whereas if you have 18, you can spend more money on the 18 and then fill the additional spots through the supplemental roster. A lot of teams in the league do that. Toronto does that, right? And they just set the MLS points, record. So I think we're open to having the conversation of, can we do it better? Is there a more, efficient approach? But at the moment, we think having 18 and making sure that we're maximizing the amount of money we're spending on that 18 is the best way to go about it.
Well, it's nice to hear kind of that background of information, only because, as a fan, the MLS policies are like trying to understand quantum physics. What's TAM, what's GAM, what's
Sure.
this, what's that, how many roster spots, what's going on with all that kind of stuff. It's very, very confusing. Even as a person that follows pretty significantly, I don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, I think I'd love to get Porig out here for one of these sessions with you guys.
Maybe
because
episode 3.
That's right. Plug. Already working on it. But I think he could come out, and I think he could provide a lot of context on those fairly difficult to understand, like hyper technical MLS policies, because he has an incredible working knowledge and fluency of it that I certainly don't possess, and I don't think many people anywhere in the country do. So that'd be fun.
And it's good because that's not your position to have to worry about it too much. Next,
the pecan brown.
Yep.
None of these are your regular.
We need your reaction after you try these, though. I mean, are you enjoying that?
Oh, of course. All of these I like. The golden, the pecan, and the final one, the vanilla porter, are all standard, always here.
I would assume that we are tasting the Drunken Monk's favorite taster.
Okay.
And then I chose the seasonal I liked.
Some thoughts moving forward with Aigner, because I think that if anything, looking at Aigner and Tim, we have that much to look forward to next season with just what the potential could be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd actually be really interested in kind of getting your guys' perspective on it too, and understanding what it looks like from the band's perspective. I mean, for us, we look at Stefan Aigner as the type of player that we want to continue to bring in. And I think the fact that our scouting network was able to go identify him as a potential player, and that Porig was able to bring him in, close, and put him in Burgundy and have him run around the field for us is a massive step in the right direction. And I think it's a small one maybe, but it's an example of the things that we're trying to accomplish long term.
So, and then our final one is the cast favorite, the vanilla porter.
Yeah. Look at the pinky out there, the form too. It's just remarkable.
So this is a cast favorite. Everybody just fell in love with it the first time we tried it, and it's always on the menu here.
So, moving forward, guys, final thoughts? Anything? Yeah?
No, look, I'm thrilled to be here, and I hope that we can continue to not just do this, but I hope that we can continue to build this relationship, because I think that there's nothing more special and more important than the relationship between the club and those who support it. So I appreciate you guys having me out, having some beers, talking about soccer.
It's great that you're coming out. I don't know of any other front office that's come out to a supporters group like you guys have done. Like we're, as far as I know, the first media team for a supporters group.
Yeah.
And then we've had players out through the seasons, and now having this kind of joint venture is just great to get some kind of better knowledge, especially through the off season, to kind of get our fan base more knowledgeable on what's going on.
We really care. As a fan base, we really just care. And it helps when we know that as a club and as fans or supporters that we're all on the same page. And I honestly, I can't speak for every single supporter, but I would like to think that the majority of us feel like it's nice to be on the same page as a group. And despite coming off of a really shitty season, we're looking forward to 2018.
Yeah, look,
So,
I think
thank you.
the future's bright.
Yes.
The future's really, really bright. So I appreciate you guys having me out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you to the Blue Spruce for providing us another room and beers. And check our social media, guys. Thank you.